You are wasting your time. The universe is doomed to extinction regardless. The symbol of annihilation is set to go off upon my death. One way or the other, my goal will come to fruition.
Your goal? How can you rule the universe if you destroy it?
Rule the universe? Who said I needed to rule the universe? If I cannot reign over it, then destroying everything will suffice just as well.
Why are you doing this?
You would never understand. Destroying the universe is my life's work. It is the entire purpose of my existence. It is what we were created for. The only thing we were created to do.
What?
The symbol of annihilation has been activated. Your doom is inevitable, no matter what you do.
Rena, put the symbol of divinity on top of the symbol of annihilation.
What are you doing? Hurry up before it's too late.
No! No!
Whoa! What happened?
Looks like it's starting.
What do you mean? I thought the symbol of divinity would put an end to this.
It will. In fact, it's the only thing that can halt the destruction of the universe.
Then what's with all the shaking? Why is it getting worse and worse?
I told you, the symbol of divinity does not destroy the power, but simply diverts it to somewhere else. There are but a few places capable of withstanding a force strong enough to destroy the entire universe.
What do you mean?
The symbol of divinity has diverted all of the energy to energy need.
But can energy need withstand all that?
I'm afraid that any trace of its existence will soon disappear.
Oh no!
Please don't worry. We will use the energy freed by the explosion to teleport you far away from energy need. Expel will be transported from the past to the present as well. That way, you'll finally have everything back.
That's not the problem right now.
Well, it beats losing the entire universe, doesn't it? The symbol of annihilation was one of the most horrible sins of the Needians. You don't have to feel sorry for us.
Need has existed well beyond its natural life. So long that it had the ability to destroy all of outer space on a whim. No civilization in existence developed more fully than Need. The end of the road has to come sometime.
Why didn't you tell us about this? If I had known you were going to sacrifice energy need, then maybe we could have done something else.
You've always been so kind to us. If you knew the truth, you would have hesitated to act at the moment we needed it the most.
That is why we asked Dr. Chandler and Ms. Madison to keep it to themselves.
Wait, why don't we just bring everyone on energy need along with us?
We can't. There isn't enough energy to transport hundreds of millions of people to Expel. Besides, we want to stay with our homeland in its dying moments. We've now realized that when a civilization refuses to evolve, then it loses all reason for its existence. Rena, Ms. Madison, and Dr. Chandler, you will be the last survivors of the Needian race. I want you to make the best of it.
I don't...
I'll try my best, sir.
Farewell, everyone.
This is where we say goodbye.
No,
It's all right. It's remarkable how serene we feel right now. I'm sure it's because our hearts are finally one with all of yours.
Farewell. Please remember what we fought for.
Yeah, goodbye. I don't think the ending is too long, luckily. Oh, this is gorgeous. By the way, I think I just realized, I think I actually unlocked Gabriel's, like, hard form. In the original game, there's a private action you have to see with Philia, and you can make the final boss stronger. I think I actually activated that form. I mean, that doesn't excuse how awful that was, because that was on Earth difficulty. But I think that's why Gabriel was hard. I think I actually did the hard mode boss fight, like with the limiter off. Because there's a limiter version and a non-limiter version. I think I did the limiter off version. So I guess that's why Gabriel was so hard, but I'm still not justifying... I'm still not gonna accept, like, oh, that's why it was hard. It was still very frustrating and not fun, and again, the combat is still like, hey, stun lock, and break the game and stuff. But I think that's why it was hard. I think I accidentally activated that. Well, I mean, not accidentally, because, like, the game... private actions are marked in this version.
I can't believe it.
In the original, it was kind of hard to activate.
Let's go home.
I think it's like credits now, and then you get some credit scene. You get post-credit scenes, or maybe post-credit scenes, or maybe you get scenes now and then credit. Yeah, time passes. The credits are a little bit later. We gotta see what everyone's doing first.
Boy, it's been a long time since that little journey of mine. I kind of miss everybody. Hope they're all doing okay. Aw, trying to cheer me up, little guy? Thanks.
Where's Chisato? Why didn't she go
Hey,
first?
princess! You want some tea or something?
Give me just 1 second, okay? I think I'm almost done here.
You haven't changed a bit, have you?
Huh?
You did go off on an adventure to save the universe, didn't you? I mean, I figured the experience would have made you a little more, you know, mature.
Well, gee, sorry I'm not mature enough for you. It's not like traveling for a few months is going to change my entire outlook on life or anything. But, you were saying something about tea?
I guess she could go to hell and back, and it wouldn't change her one bit.
Whoa.
Sorry I haven't been around in a while. I had to deal with some stuff. Have you been watching me, Cecile? I never thought I'd be saving the universe someday. I have so many stories for you. I don't know where to start.
I feel like I've been traveling forever in search of my next hot scoop.
Oh, Chisato's with Welch for some reason.
But it never just drops in your lap, does it?
Starship 2 has like 87 different endings or something like that, so...
Ooh, a crowd of people!
Looks like we've got an incident here.
Bring me 100 million full, or the kid gets it.
What a jerk! What are we gonna do, Chisato?
We're gonna do something about it, of course. What did you think?
That's what I want to hear. Ha ha! Balloon something or other.
Something or other.
Missile strike!
That's brutal.
Perfect. Case closed.
This is gonna put us on the front page for sure.
I like Chisato and Welch. They're neat. They're really fun. Two of my favorites other than
hey,
Claude and
Ashton.
Rena.
Where have you been?
Sorry it's been so long, Eleanor. How have things been? You had any health problems since then?
Nope. I've been doing very well. And it's all thanks to you, Ashton.
There's a chest there I missed.
Yes, Creepy and Weepy helped out too. Thanks, you guys. Thanks a bunch, Ashton.
Hey, you need to keep believing in your dreams. Okay, Eleanor? We all gotta do our best.
Sure thing.
Is that everyone? Just Claude and Rena now?
Good morning, Claude.
Aren't Claude and Rena on a ship in Claude's story? I think they're on a ship in Claude's story. Because Claude becomes like a Federation officer or something. I don't remember them being in Arlia. This might be a Rena story exclusive.
Have you gotten used to life in Arlia yet?
More or less. I still find myself falling back on my old Earth habits now and then.
Say, Claude, are you sure it's alright for you to stay here? You don't regret not going back to Earth?
Not at all. I'm here right now because I want to be here.
That's really cute. Despite how I got with the last few boss fights and how I feel about the combat, good game. Star Ocean 2 is a good game. The story is neat for what it is. I think the lore is really nice. I will say with the story, it's gonna be a rehash of my second Evolution playthrough. The first half, like, is mostly about setting up and getting introduced to all the characters and, like, deciding who you're gonna recruit and stuff, so it doesn't really have a hook in its main story. And the second half has a really nice setup with the 10 Wise Men and, like, the whole energy need and the lore and stuff, but it doesn't really, like, do much with it. It feels very rushed and half-baked. Because it's just, like, it goes really quick. It feels brief. So, like, the story is fine. It's okay. It's not terrible. It has interesting lore, but it wasn't really fleshed out enough or built up upon all that well, but... And another thing is, the characters are really neat. I like the characters. I like the characters. I don't, like, love any of the characters. None of them are, like, my favorite characters of all time. Claude and Rena are pretty good protagonists. I also really like Welch. I was surprised how much I liked Welch doing this playthrough, this version of Welch, because Star Ocean 4 Welch sucks. But Star Ocean 2 Welch is actually pretty funny. I really liked her. Chisato's also really great. And then, like, the others are, like, fine to neat, depending, like Pressis, Ashton, Noel. DS is pretty cool. I do like DS. Noel and Pressis are fine. Don't like Leon. Ernest and Opera are really cool, but I didn't get them this playthrough. Celine we didn't get in this playthrough, but yeah. The game's whole, like, recruiting characters is a really cool thing. It's ahead of its time, but at the same time, it's like... It's a trade-off with, like, the story. The story feels like the characters don't really, like, do much. Because you have to choose who you recruit. So that was a big sacrifice they took in that department. Overall, though, I think the story is, like, pretty good. It gets its job done. It's serviceable. It's not gonna blow your socks off or something. I'm not even going to talk about the combat because I think I got all my combat gripes out, but in condensed form, the combat is it's just not fun. I don't find it fun, and it's really spammy. It's just like, it gets tedious, it gets repetitive. It's just like, the beginning of the game is like, yeah, I mean, it's nothing special, but it's like, fine. But as you get farther in the game, like, nothing really changes. This version of Second Evolution, Second Story R, really, I guess, expects you to break the game more because they made the game harder, which is fair because they did add, like, assault actions and break system. But, I didn't like the combat in Star Ocean 2 to begin with all that much. It was always the worst thing about Star Ocean 2. So, the fact that this is still Star Ocean 2's combat is not for me. Not my cup of tea. But also, the break system I thought was really neat at first, but I actually kind of hate it because the late game bosses expect you to, like, break the enemy, then spam all your HP focus attacks. Like, that's the strat. And Claude only has 2 break moves, which are Helmet Breaker and Knuckle Burst, and other characters probably only have 2 break moves. So, it's a little restrictive in that. And I had to turn the game to Earth difficulty. I, like, never have to turn the games to easy mode. The easiest mode to play them. But Earth mode even felt a little ridiculous at times. So, I think they really went overboard with the difficulty, to be honest. I know they had to make it harder, and I'm not saying they should have not made it harder. Making it harder was the right call. It's a combination of not liking Star Ocean 2's combat anyway, despite this being the remake and adding stuff, and also just I feel like they went overboard. Just a little. The music is amazing though. I really love the soundtrack in this remake. I think the rearrangements and new tracks are so good. This is probably like, Second Story R probably has my favorite soundtrack in the series. I like it more than Star Ocean 3's soundtrack and more than 6's soundtrack. I mean, it's Motoi Sakuraba. He does great with the Star Ocean music. I don't really have much to say. I kind of reviewed the game in Second Evolution. Claude and Rena's stories also aren't too different to warrant talking about them separately. Like, Claude's story has some cutscenes with Ronix and stuff, and him being a Federation officer, and Claude having to follow in his footsteps, while Rena's has a little bit more in their past. I feel like Claude's has more exclusives than Rena's does. Overall, I really don't have much to say. If these credits take too long, I might skip them because I already played and reviewed Second Evolution on the channel. So, overall, how do I feel about the remake? It's definitely better. You should play the remake. If you're looking to get into Star Ocean, I think you should play this remake. Play the combat on Earth. No shame in playing the combat on Earth difficulty. Because, holy cow, the combat is already not good in the original, I don't think. I think it's very meh. And in this remake, it's just like when you hit a wall, like a roadblock of like, this boss is hard, it's annoying. It gets really frustrating and puts a damper on my mood while playing the game. But the presentation was really nice, the music was really good, and everything else that's from Star Ocean 2 is really nice. I think the assault formations were really cool. Getting like Raymond, Leticia, and Fate was awesome. Good little callback to Star Ocean fans like myself. And the graphics look beautiful. I'm gonna gush about that forever. The portraits, the character art, it all looks amazing. Presentation's great. Second Story R, despite my combat opinions and getting annoyed in like the last 5 to 6 hours of the playthrough, gets a seal of approval. I'm glad they remade this game, and I'm glad I got to play it. Also, it's not very long, so the fact that it doesn't overstay its welcome helps a lot. Anything else? Or are we done? Their adventure, Fantastic Space Odyssey, has just begun. Oh, so I guess in Rena's story they settled down in Arlia. That's a nice change. I like that what if, hope of need. I like that change. In Rena's story, they settle down in Arlia, while with Claude, like, Rena goes on the ship with him. That's really nice. Save completion data. Yeah, we're not doing the Maze of Tribulations on screen. There are a total of 99 endings. I thought it was 87. Yeah, I'm not doing Maze of Tribulations for the playthrough. We're done with Star Ocean 2. Like, again, given how I feel about the combat and the fact that, like, Maze of Tribulations is all combat, we're done with the playthrough. Like, I'm not doing any post-game. I did all the post-game in my Second Evolution playthrough, so if you want to see me do it in the original game, in Second Evolution, go check out my Claude story playthrough. So, I did it in that playthrough, so I don't feel as inclined to do it now. we're done. Star Ocean Second Story R is complete. Again, despite how I got with the combat, I'm glad I did this playthrough. I'm glad we got this remake. And I want to do Star Ocean 6 again. I want to do Leticia's story next. I'm going to take a Star Ocean break, though, because I kind of did do... Ooh, New Game Plus. I'm going to have to platinum this game eventually. I'll do it eventually. I did play Star Ocean 4 and then this immediately after, so there will be a Star Ocean break, but I'll play some other stuff for a while. But we'll play 6 again as the next Star Ocean playthrough. I can't wait for that. So, those of you watching, I hope you got enjoyment, because I did. I didn't want to steer anyone the wrong way. I definitely enjoyed the playthrough. Combat was meh to unfun. But everything else about the game was great, and I'm glad I got to relive this classic, because I do like Star Ocean 2. It's the 3rd best Star Ocean game, in my opinion. So, yeah, hope to see you for other stuff. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.